I was looking out at Lake Michigan and I said, why do we do this? Why do we have a dedicated power supply for every device we make? This is stupid. There's nothing wrong with your old charger.
Traditionally, power supply performs sort of two functions. It takes AC from the wall and converts that into DC, and then it delivers DC to the device at the specific voltage the device requires. What we do in a green plug power hub is the AC to DC conversion is still the same. We'll take AC from the wall, we'll convert it to a DC level. But then on a green torque enabled hub, we have multiple ports. Each of those ports has a DC to DC converter and can adjust the voltage level anywhere from 3.5 volts up to 21 volts to provide the power that's sort of suited to the devices connected to that port. Ports are not dedicated. Any device can be plugged into any port, and with digital communication, you'll get the appropriate power level for the device. Within the port, there's a DC to DC converter. That converter has a variable voltage range that it can support. The DC to DC is controlled by the microprocessor that's embedded in the intelligent hub. That microprocessor will receive communication from the load device that will define the power requirements of that load device, and then will adjust the DC to DC converter on the power supply to deliver exactly the required voltage. And we've shown demos of a system providing power to 21 volt sort of large scale laptops down to 3.5 volt cameras. We can show that you can unplug the cable from one device, plug it into another device, and the system adjusts seamlessly and delivers the proper voltage. For the vendor, the value they get from adopting this approach is they no longer have to stock an inventory of thousands of different individual power supplies, all of which cost money to design, all of which cost money to produce, and all of which cost money to hold in inventory. Some of which have a short lifespan because the product maybe isn't as successful as they expected it to be and goes away. The power supplies are then generally useless for everything else. From the CE vendor's point of view, if they have a universal power supply which sort of has a lifespan over many generations of devices and covers many products within a product line, then they have a huge cost saving. So even though the individual device appears to be more complex and sophisticated, amortized over a large range of consumer products, it actually works out much more cost effective for them. So from their point of view, they have cost benefit there. They also have technical benefit in our power supplies have a major effect in saving the so-called vampire or standby power, which is not true for most dumb sort of power supply bricks. So from that point of view, they get benefits sort of both in terms of environmental waste and power and in terms of the inventory they have to stock. So for them, it's a financial advantage. They don't have to bend down in the corner, dig through a mass of cables, find a connector that looks sort of like the one they're looking for and see if it fits, and hope that it doesn't fit and is the wrong voltage, because that would be the worst case. Instead, they can pick up any cable and plug it into any device, the Screen Talk enabled, and it works. So the consumer gets really convenience benefits, along with, they get power savings at home too. But the main advantage is sheer convenience. One power supply powers all devices.